Hi, Tyler. Just want to get your reaction to the DiJonai ejection and what you saw happen on that play.
In the moment, I thought that she made a play on the ball. I didn't think it warranted a flagrant two. I didn't see the replay, when it happened. So that was my initial thoughts. But the officials made what they made. I haven't looked at that play since, so I really don't know if it was justified or not. But that's what I thought in the moment.
I put together a little clip of DiJonai Carrington, who is definitely one of the dirtiest players in the WNBA.
Yeah, so Carrington is a dirty player, probably the dirtiest player in the league. And then she has the audacity to go online right after her ejection and claim that she got ejected because of racism.
And then Cunningham gets into the face.
Welcome back to WNBA Daily Pulse, your home for the latest WNBA news and breaking stories. We've got another brand new update for you today, and we hope you'll enjoy this video. So hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and let's get straight into it. Chicago Sky head coach has reportedly suspended star player DiJonai Carrington following her confrontation with Indiana Fever star Sophie Cunningham. The suspension comes after what many are calling a fight during their recent matchup, where tensions boiled over and resulted in a flagrant foul call that has since escalated into a full-blown controversy. The WNBA is also looking into allegations of hateful fan comments, according to reports surrounding the incident. The league announced in the aftermath of the incident, but the situation has now taken a dramatic turn, with DiJonai Carrington reportedly facing internal discipline from her own team. Sources close to the organization suggest the suspension stems not just from the on-court incident, but also from Carrington's conduct following the play and her response to the subsequent investigation. The confrontation that led to this unprecedented decision occurred during the third quarter of what had been a physically intense matchup between the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever.
Plays. Look. Yanking her hair down. Oh, that's a basketball play, y'all. And tell me if you notice a common denominator. Look. Basketball play, look. Basketball play. I didn't know you can rip somebody's hair out. That's a basketball. Look. Ankle injury. That's a basketball play, y'all. Look. Poke right in the eye. It's not this many basketball plays in the world. There's not this many coincidences in the world. She went up like this and came down like this and poked an eye. Knocked her all upside her head. Now she got CT. Like, this is what you call a track record. Look. Not even going for the ball. Like, come on.
But that's what DiJonai Carrington.
When DiJonai Carrington attacked Sophie Cunningham, Cunningham got back to her feet, and a confrontation quickly broke out between the two players. To prevent the situation from escalating, players from both teams immediately rushed over and separated them. The atmosphere suddenly became tense as teammates worked to keep Cunningham and Carrington apart. The Indianapolis crowd responded with a chorus of boos directed at Carrington, creating an atmosphere that would later be interpreted very differently, depending on one's perspective. As the Indiana Fever pulled away for a dominant victory, the incident appeared to remain contained on the court. However, within hours, allegations began circulating on social media that some Indiana Fever fans had crossed the line from enthusiastic support into inappropriate behavior directed at Carrington. The WNBA's swift announcement of an investigation brought additional attention to those allegations, even as questions remained about exactly what had occurred. The league strongly condemned racism, hate, and any form of discriminatory behavior, setting the stage for one of the most divisive conversations surrounding the matchup. But the story then took another unexpected turn with the Chicago Sky coach's reported decision to suspend Carrington. According to team insiders, the organization was reportedly embarrassed by the entire episode and believed Carrington's actions both during and after the game had violated the team's standards of professionalism.
Made a basketball play and the refs made a basketball ruling. So can we stick to basketball for a moment? Basketball play. She was attempting to go for the ball. At least she said so. She missed, and she missed egregiously. She missed and she flagrantly hit Sophie Cunningham in the head. Now, flagrant 2, by definition, if you hit somebody with so much force that it could lead to injury, and if it doesn't appear to be a play on the ball. Though DiJonai's intention was to play the ball, her impact was all on Sophie Cunningham's head.
The suspension is reportedly indefinite, with DiJonai Carrington required to meet certain behavioral conditions before being reinstated to the active roster. The Chicago Sky organization's decision to suspend Carrington comes after the team had already released a statement that many viewed as doubling down on accusations stemming from a disputed social media post regarding Indiana Fever fans. This apparent inconsistency has led some observers to speculate that the suspension could be more about damage control than genuine disciplinary concerns, particularly as the team faces criticism for amplifying claims that had not been independently verified. ESPN's coverage of the suspension has been extensive, with commentators divided over whether the punishment fits the offense. One heated discussion even put media personalities on the spot over their framing of the controversy and their reactions to the suspension news. For the WNBA, the situation presents significant challenges. The league has benefited enormously from the attention surrounding Sophie Cunningham and her rivalry with established players such as DiJonai Carrington. Television ratings have increased, social media engagement has exploded, and women's basketball is being discussed in mainstream spaces more than ever. However, the controversy and Carrington's reported suspension now threaten to overshadow the basketball itself. The suspension would also represent a significant setback in what had been a promising start to Carrington's WNBA career. After starring at LSU and helping lead her team to a national championship, Carrington entered the professional ranks with high expectations and a reputation as a fierce competitor. Now, she reportedly finds herself sidelined indefinitely while facing questions about her temperament and professionalism. Sophie Cunningham, meanwhile, continues to make an impact on the court, drawing significant attention and adding another layer to one of the WNBA's most closely watched storylines.
Guess when you take a girl's head off, people love that stuff. Quote, Sophie Cunningham, after Sophie had a flagrant foul on J.C. Sheldon being a protector for Caitlin Clark. Do you know what happened after that foul? In 1 week's time, Sophie Cunningham got 1 million new TikTok followers, got celebrated for being an enforcer. And Ring, a week later, Ring gave her an endorsement.
You guys know how serious I am about protecting my girls on the court. But what's protecting my home court, aka my actual home? The obvious choice is Ring.
That's what happened for Sophie Cunningham. DiJonai wrote white privilege in threads right afterwards. And my only problem with that is, which white privilege are you talking about?
The Chicago Sky must now navigate the remainder of their schedule without one of their key players, at least temporarily, and the team's performance during DiJonai Carrington's absence will be closely scrutinized, as will any statements from players or coaches regarding the suspension. If the team struggles, pressure may mount to reinstate Carrington sooner rather than later, regardless of the original conditions set for her return. For the WNBA, the challenge is finding a way to harness the intense interest generated by the Sophie Cunningham and DiJonai Carrington rivalry without allowing it to devolve into the kind of off-court drama that threatens to overshadow the game itself. The league's handling of both the investigation into fan behavior and its response to Carrington's suspension will be critical in determining whether this moment becomes a positive turning point or a cautionary tale. As fans and media digest the news, the debate continues over what actually transpired during and after the game. Video footage has been analyzed frame by frame, witness accounts have been scrutinized, and social media posts have been dissected for clues about what really happened. The truth, as is often the case in situations like this, may lie somewhere between the competing narratives. What is clear is that women's basketball has captured national attention in ways previously thought impossible, and the challenge now is ensuring that this attention translates into sustainable growth rather than fleeting controversy. The responsibility lies not only with the league and its players, but also with media outlets, social media platforms, and fans themselves. As the season progresses, the hope is that the focus returns to where it belongs. On the court, where a new generation of extraordinary athletes is revolutionizing women's basketball and inspiring millions. The Sophie Cunningham-DiJonai Carrington rivalry has the potential to become one of sport's great stories, but only if it develops organically through competition rather than being defined by suspensions, investigations, and off-court drama. For now, the basketball world waits to see when or if Carrington will return to action and what the fallout from this suspension will mean for her career, the Chicago Sky, and the WNBA as a whole. As this story continues to unfold, one thing has become impossible to ignore: The WNBA is no longer operating in the shadows of the sports world. Every game, rivalry, controversial moment, and statement is being watched, discussed, debated, and analyzed by millions of fans across the country. What started as a basketball rivalry has now grown into something much bigger, and Carrington's suspension has added another unexpected chapter to a story that already has the basketball world talking. But beyond the controversy, arguments, and headlines, there is still a game being played. Players are working every day to improve their skills, compete at the highest level, and build something special for the future of women's basketball. Sophie Cunningham continues to attract enormous attention every time she steps onto the court, while Carrington now faces uncertainty over what comes next. Whether this suspension becomes a temporary setback or permanently changes the way fans and teams view her remains to be seen, and that uncertainty is exactly what makes the next chapter so interesting. The Chicago Sky will have to move forward while dealing with the pressure surrounding their organization, while the WNBA will have to carefully manage the growing attention surrounding its players and biggest storylines. At the same time, fans will continue asking the questions that have dominated social media. What really happened? Was the punishment justified? Could the situation have been handled differently? And most importantly, what happens next? Those questions may not have simple answers, and the truth may take time to become completely clear. This story is not finished. As the season continues, every game involving Sophie Cunningham, DiJonai Carrington, and the Chicago Sky will carry an additional level of attention. Every reaction will be analyzed, every statement will be examined, and every moment on the court could become the next major headline. While controversy may bring temporary attention, the ultimate goal should always remain the same: growing the game and giving women's basketball the respect, recognition, and platform it deserves. The next generation of stars is already here, proving that women's basketball can create the same excitement, emotion, rivalries, and unforgettable moments that fans have always demanded from sports. So now, the question is no longer whether people are watching. They absolutely are. The real question is what this moment will mean when the season is finally over. Will it become a turning point that helps the league grow even stronger, or will it be remembered as another controversy that briefly dominated the headlines? Only time will tell. Until then, the basketball world will be watching closely, waiting for the next game, the next statement, and the next chapter. And if everything we've seen so far is any indication, the biggest moments of this story may still be ahead. So stay tuned, because this is far from over. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next major WNBA update. Because when the next chapter arrives, we'll be here to break it all down.